Hadas.
Yes, Dylan.
Let's talk about cable news.
We always love to talk about cable news.
We always love to talk about cable news. We got some a new look at the ratings, and what we found is that MSNBC's numbers, both in terms of viewership and revenue, are declining.
Right. Not a huge surprise.
Not a huge surprise. It's certainly, you always decline after a presidential election year, and so the big struggle for them now is like, what do we do in these off years? What do we do when we can't criticize George W. Bush? What do we do when the nation isn't excited about Obama? Like, what's our game plan? And they don't really seem to have one. You know, I think like the only thing that could save MSNBC would be like a really, really far-right Republican president who they can just harp on for 4 or 8 years.
Well, we might see that happen at least in 2014 if Republicans take over the Senate.
Right, that's a great point.
And so that might give them some juice because then you'll have Republican-controlled House and Senate and poor old president by himself.
Let's say they put you in charge of MSNBC. What do you do? What do you do to save this network? Do you have any sort of idea or game plan?
I would probably completely wipe the daytime schedule and change it up. I would potentially even do some of the programming similar to what CNN does at night and maybe to put that in during the day at MSNBC just kind of as a filler and really focus on the morning and the prime time.
Right.
And get more people like Rachel Maddow, like the Morning Joe crew, just to make it a little bit more of a network that not only the power players in Washington want to watch, but that your parents at home in your home state might be interested in watching as well and would understand, because right now I think MSNBC is a little bit elitist, or is elitist, definitely, and that seems to only speak to the New York, D.C. court.
Right. What people want in MSNBC is they want a liberal champion who can harp on all of the problems with Republicans the same way Fox News harps on problems with liberals and progressives. But you can't have that champion if people are feeling disengaged from the political scene, and if they're certainly feeling like the Obama's presidency has turned into a slog and been a letdown from some of all that hope and change rhetoric we saw in 2008.